What's up YouTube? This is my 2007 Chrysler 300 SRT-8. Most people know me for my crazy Challenger. This is a car that I really never thought I would get to. Back in 2016, I crashed my original Chrysler 300 and I ended up getting this SRT-8 as kind of a rebound. And I was not ready to build a car like this, so I ended up buying a ton of parts. The car sat halfway taken apart for the entirety of 5.5 years in storage, and just recently I ended up getting to it. So I've been driving this car for about a year now, and other than exterior mods, this thing is pretty much stock. And I have some insane ideas to make this thing super fast, super fun, and super reliable. The Challenger happened behind closed doors in my garage for a long time. Not a lot of people got to see the main process of that build. I want to change that. I think you guys deserve to see this thing become really fast, and I have a few tricks up my sleeve to make that happen. But currently right now, this car is a 2007 Chrysler 300 SRT-8 with about 100,000 miles. Bought it with 100K and we are at 106. So when I tell you I have barely drove this thing in the 7 years I bought it, I actually mean it. I drove it one day and then put it away for 5.5 years. It sat disassembled for super long. And now I am finally breaking through that wall, and I'm going to finish this build. As you guys have may noticed, the front bumper and the rear bumper look totally different than any Chrysler you've probably ever seen before. And that's because I had to import this thing from Australia. And the rear bumper is actually made by Valeside, which, unless you guys live under a rock, is one of the biggest aftermarket body creators in Japan. These body kits have been featured in movies like Fast and Furious and so on and so forth. Now, with all that being said, this car was involved in a pretty bad accident. Someone ended up backing into this thing and they were going pretty fast. It actually moved the location of the car. Sadly, you can still see remnants of what was going on here. I had carbon fiber fenders, which they don't make anymore. Those were destroyed in the accident. So I just got these OEM fenders. And then this hood right here, it actually got cracked and I went ahead and I repaired it. You can still tell, but the damage that was done was really bad. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So this car has a true carbon fiber spoiler. We have a gloss black wicker bill, and then a Carbon Creations carbon fiber trunk, which I don't believe they make either of these anymore. So these aren't aftermarket, they're actually OEM taillights. These are 3-piece wheels made by VIP Modular. Forged wheels, and then right behind there is a custom gold SRT Brembo caliper, which the Brembos did come on here, but they had a Brembo logo and they weren't powder coated. On top of that, we have some carbon fiber side skirts, Carson fiber mirrors, and of course the fully carbon Black Ops Angry Eye hood, which basically takes any Chrysler 300 and makes it look 10 times meaner. And the reason being is, as you guys can tell, the headlights, now this is a more aggressive bumper, so the bumper is usually less aggressive, kind of looks like it's smiling, but these headlights right here are that full circle. It gives it that like wide-eyed, open, friendly look. And then as soon as you close this hood, it goes ahead and it gives you that angry eye, covers a little bit of the LED, and just gives you a much more menacing look. We also have these handmade gold carbon fiber splitter rods and a ARP carbon fiber splitter. On top of that, I lost my fog lights the whole 5.5 years of storage, so I actually ended up getting the pod lights off of Harbor Freight and figuring out how to mount them and connect them to the fog light system, and they work really well. These headlights are actually tinted, so they're not very bright, so if I ever need a bright light, these things literally light up the whole street. And like I said, this thing is completely stock. I have a few goodies, but mainly it's all cosmetic other than the intake. We have an ultra performance intake, which these are releasing in just a few weeks. So you guys keep your heads up. It's carbon fiber, 4-inch intake. It sucks in a ton of air. We have a Moroso aluminum coolant expansion tank, an oil catch can, stock injectors, stock motor, stock intake manifold, stock exhaust, catalytic converters, you name it, we have it. It's everything that came on this car. It's pretty much like starting with a blank canvas. And I'm not so sure I want to go the turbo route this time. But we will get into all the details in further videos. Inside the trunk right here, I have no tray or trim at all. And there's a reason for that, but you guys have to wait to find out. Good hint, a more recent sponsor. But with that being said, this thing only has a mid-muffler delete. That's it. And also, if you guys didn't know, this thing is obviously on coilovers. It is super low, and the fitment I absolutely love. Fits about a finger, that's about it, which is good. I think it tucks really nice. And these wheels were specifically made for a Chrysler 300. And one thing I can't stand is that Jake finally turboed his 5.7 Chrysler 300C. You know, I did it with him. It was a cool little upgrade, but now he's beating me in races. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. And I'm gonna have to do something about that really quick. And I know it's not that much, but you guys get to watch it become something different. And I cannot wait to share it with you guys. In case you guys were wondering, I got the Ultra Performance hoodies finally in stock. We've been waiting a while. They had the shutdown at the ports. So with that being said, I finally got it figured out. And we got these things in. They're super cool, really comfortable, great quality.